The vast majority of our global population depends on a very specific set of conditions: temperate weather, sea level oxygen, and highly connected supply chains. But scattered across the map are geographical anomalies, places on Earth where the climate and terrain actively reject human habitation. We see this in the death zone of Mount Everest, where there is a 64% oxygen deficit compared to sea level, and on the volcanic shores of Iceland, where the very ground beneath your feet is prone to shattering. Standard biology suggests these environments should only support temporary visits, yet these locations are home to permanent, thriving civilizations that have existed for centuries. Surviving on these fringes reveals that humanity's greatest asset is our ability to physically alter our bodies, our architecture, and our social structures to meet the demands of the land. At 8,849 meters, the human body begins to shut down. In the thin air of the Himalayas, every basic biological process becomes a struggle for survival. The Sherpa people are the exception. Through centuries of living at extreme altitude, their bodies have undergone a specific genetic evolution that allows them to move through the high peaks with ease. Their survival is driven by an increased efficiency in their red blood cells. Their hemoglobin has a unique capacity to bond to scarce oxygen molecules, ensuring their muscles and organs stay fueled even when the atmosphere is nearly empty. This genetic advantage forms the economic backbone of the Everest expedition industry, where international climbers pay $50,000 or more for a chance at the summit. Sherpas perform the immense physical labor that makes these climbs possible, carrying 100-kilogram loads and carving routes through shifting icefalls before the paying clients even arrive at base camp. With 96% of successful summits relying on local Sherpa support, the modern high-altitude exploration industry functions almost entirely on the foundation of this specific biological adaptation. In environments where biological evolution is too slow, we rely on engineering to physically reshape the Earth to suit our needs. Iceland spent much of its history as a poor, isolated island, sitting directly atop some of the most volatile tectonic forces on the planet. By drilling into these fault lines, Iceland converted geothermal heat into a 100% renewable energy grid. This shift to cheap local power provided the economic foundation that helped move the nation from a struggling fishing outpost to one of the world's most stable economies. A similar engineering mindset exists in the Faroe Islands, where a tiny population faces extreme oceanic isolation and the constant threat of North Atlantic storms. Their solution was a radical infrastructure network, 25 massive tunnels carved through solid mountains and deep beneath the ocean floor to connect their remote villages. These megaprojects provide the connectivity necessary for a fragmented archipelago to function as a unified, wealthy, and modern nation. When both biology and engineering reach their limits, survival depends on the adaptation of culture and lifestyle. Socotra was severed from the mainland 6 million years ago, creating a fragile, alien landscape that hosts some of the rarest plant life in the world. The local population lives in a tight symbiosis with this ecosystem. They harvest the valuable red resin of the dragon's blood tree through careful extraction techniques that preserve the trees for future generations. Their reliance on an unwritten language and ancient food preservation methods, like storing dates in sheepskins, demonstrates how traditional routines can protect a society from the pressures of modern expansion. On the island of St. Helena, geography itself is the defining feature. A 15-day oceanic barrier traditionally separated this community from the rest of the world. Britain famously utilized this isolation to exile Napoleon in 1815, using the island's sheer remoteness to enforce a state of absolute separation from Europe. In places where the map traps you, deeply rooted cultural traditions and symbiotic community behaviors become the primary tools for maintaining social stability. It is easy to view these remote populations as relics of the past, living on the fringes of a globalized world. However, their biological, engineered, and cultural adaptations prove that these groups are the ultimate masters of their environments. This localized mastery is becoming a vital case study as the global climate shifts and unpredictable weather patterns become the new normal. the temperate, connected world will soon need to adopt the same resilience currently found only on these geographic fringes. Our long-term survival depends on the capacity to adapt to our surroundings, using our blood, using our blueprints, and our traditions to thrive in an increasingly volatile world.